So let's just get right to it because the DJI OSMO Mobile 6 just came out. And I haven't even used the OSMO Mobile since the first one, and that was great. The OSMO Mobile works really, really well. But now we are on the 6. And because I have the iPhone 13 Pro, I've been using my phone more than ever to get the footage that I need for my YouTube channel. And yes, I've reviewed a lot of gimbals on this channel before, but I've never seen something quite like this. Let me show you more.
Mr. Black.
By the way, welcome to the channel. My name is Danny Black. I love to review cool gear that comes my way. If you're new here, don't be a stranger. Click that button right there. If you're having a good day today, click that button right there and spread the love, and it gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling when you do. Thank you. I'll put links and more information down in the description so you can check it out down there, plus a surprise link. And now before we get to the mini features of this thing, let's just go ahead and check and see what's in the box. In the box, we get to unfold the creativity. And unfold it we shall, because the gimbal comes in all tucked away. Actually, I was wondering how a phone gimbal could fit into this little box. But that's how. You get some DJI little tripod legs and this magnetic clip-on attachment for your phone. And I like how it clips on the phone, but it doesn't touch any of the buttons. That's always a big problem in gimbals, is somehow you hit the volume button or the sleep button or whatever. It's just nice that it kind of just goes over that, and it attaches on magnetically, and it is very strong. But look at this thing, the design is so sleek, from the grip to the buttons, to the joystick and the trigger button. When you hold it down, you lock the gimbal in place. If you double tap it, it just brings it back to front and center. But let's get to the important question, why would you need a gimbal for a phone nowadays? And before I answer that, let me just tell you all the cool things that this thing does. So brace yourselves, ready? The OSMO Mobile 6 allows you to take stable and creative videos super easily. And it's really easy to switch from landscape to portrait mode for things like TikTok. It has 3-axis stabilization, so you know these motors are gonna be strong and stable, but also quiet. And DJI has proven themselves to be on the top tier of the stabilization market. It now has Active Track 5.0, and this is an upgrade giving you more accurate recognition and tracking in complex scenarios. So when you have your subject that you wanna track on the screen, you can actually highlight them and you just move around and it will actually follow them. You don't have to worry about where you're aiming it or any buttons to press. It's pretty cool. It has quick launch now, which is really awesome. The gimbal automatically powers on after being unfolded. It makes it very easy to get your phone on there really quickly, and this thing travels very well. So there are 4 gimbal modes on here, and there's an M button for the different modes, so you can switch between them really easily with just one press of the button. You have follow, tilt, lock, FPV, and spin shot. And it has a built-in extension rod, which is really cool because, you know, maybe you do need that extra foot in your life because you might be a little bit short, and maybe you're somewhere that's really crowded and you wouldn't be able to see. You could just pop that up over everyone's head and you can get the shot that you wouldn't be able to get with just your hands sticking up. So concerts, parades, festivals, this thing will be perfect for that. Now, I have to mention one of the coolest features on this thing is the focus and zoom wheel. And all you have to do to switch between zoom and manual focus is you just tap it. And then you can actually zoom in, and then you can switch it over to focus, and you can focus in on your subject. You can switch it between different subjects, and that is so good. That makes your footage that much more cinematic. You can get really creative doing shots like that. When you launch the app, there are easy tutorials to follow teaching you how to do really cool and creative shots, and there's also one-tap editing. They also have gesture controls in the app, so you can do everything like tracking and take selfies with just gestures. But you can switch between your slow motion. There's a hyperlapse option built into it. It's actually cool because you can track something that's in the distance and you can walk really slowly, and then it'll keep that in frame the whole time, making your hyperlapse just look amazing. With time-lapse mode, you can actually just set it down on a tripod and it'll actually take a time lapse in a circle, whichever direction you want it to go. You can even set waypoints too. So you move the joystick around to add your different waypoints, and then when you run through it, it'll actually do that. Like, it's so cool. I love those kind of time lapses. With Dynazoom, you can do that dramatic shot, that dolly zoom that you see from like Steven Spielberg movies. And you can shoot really creative panoramic shots. You have Clone Me Panos. And instead of, holding a panoramic shot yourself where, it kind of gets a little bit weird, you just set this thing down and it will do it for you, and it'll look way better than handheld. They have story mode on here, which all you have to do is you just look through some of the different story modes. Like there's shake, there's lively, there's cut, there's fashion, jazz, sports, back to the 80s. And it actually gives you like a little tutorial and shows you which clips you need to get this thing to look the best. And you just kind of follow along with it. It just adds another level of fun that you can have with this thing, but also just getting more creative shots and making better and more engaging posts on your social media or wherever you're posting your content. Okay, so let's get back to the original question of why would you need a gimbal for your smartphone? You know, all the new phones have great in-body stabilization. Yeah, that's awesome, but maybe you don't have a new phone. Maybe you're still rocking like an iPhone 10 and you don't want that shaky footage. But maybe you do have a new phone and there's something about in-body stabilization where you lose a little bit of quality compared to having a gimbal. And the Osmo Mobile 6 is just perfect for getting those cinematic shots that you can't just do when you're holding it with your hand. Maybe you need to use that focus wheel and pull focus from one subject to another to get that cinematic shot that you have to like touch the screen to do, and it's a bit abrupt and it shakes your phone a little bit. It doesn't look as smooth as using the wheel. And a lot of third-party apps don't use that in-body stabilization. So when I was doing a month worth of live streams with my phone, it looked terrible. So if I would have had this would have just been so much more valuable for me, but also for you guys watching. So I apologize for how shaky it was, but next time, yeah, we'll use this for sure. And I just have to test this out because DJI have the best wireless system. It's so good. So let's just see how well it does. Oh, you can do that. Oh, that's perfect. So all in all, this thing is just solid from the moment that you turn it on to when you put your phone on there. You can just tell that this thing is gonna be great and you're gonna be happy that you have it with you. Whether that's to help inspire you to get some more creative shots or just keeping your camera stable for those precious memories that you don't want to look shaky. And stay tuned to the channel because I'll have some update videos to this and some tips and tricks on how to better use it and get really creative with it. But that's it for today's product review. This was really cool. Very excited to be able to share that with you, and a lot of really cool products coming up on this channel. So stay tuned and I'll see you next time.
Mr. Black.